Welcome to Elevation Productions. My name is Granddaddy Frost. I'm in the process of working on sound design and creating my own sounds through sounds that I already have. I created this melody that I did a couple months ago, and I'm going to redo the beat. But my process is, what I did was I took the beat was done on the MPC. So I took the sounds I took this sound right here. I took that, and then I took this melody here. So I took that and I put it over here into the computer. But before I did that, I just messed with some filtering. My sample rate is 11.2. From the EPS, I ran it into Ableton, and I did different filtering envelopes and oscillators on this on the sounds that I put in. I also used the original sound, but this is what I came up with. It's the original sound, right? Here's another one. So what I did was I played the loop, and then I also played some different melodies. That's why you hear it's changing up here and there. And here's another one. Where I pause at, that's where I'm doing my own. I'm playing different, hitting different notes, trying to get a little groove with it. And the reason why I do that, I play little grooves, is that's the idea that I had doing my chops. So when I chop it up and start pacing them, that's the groove. These where it pause at, that's what the grooves that I'm gonna use as a foundation. Here's another one. Here's another one. Another one. changed the filter on that. This was the filtering that I changed. I just took them down, right? I took it down. You hear that? Just took it down. That's all I did over there. I'm over here. That's what I did right here. All right. So I did that, right? Now I'm gonna go ahead and make me a beat on the MPC. I'm gonna transfer them drums, the drum loop that I do over here, over to here, sampling at 11.2 kilohertz. Tracking out to the computer. That's the ghost kick. Here's what the track out sound like. Now the drums are done. The first phase of the drums, I'm gonna add more things to my drums, but do not get in the habit of trying to stop and fix stuff. Stay in groove mode. You follow me? I created the chops from this audio. Here's the chops. They're not cleaned up, but don't worry about cleaning them up. Stay in groove mode. Here go the chops. This is what I created from them chops. Remember, stay in groove mode. Don't worry about cleaning up nothing. This is what I created. technique that I use. When you go into each phase of each sequence or each phase of chopping up samples, make sure you relax. Do some breathing exercises. Stretch your muscles and get into meditating of what are you trying to accomplish, because sometimes we get a little stuck into the rhythm. Okay, it's hard to do video and stop and do all this, but I'm using these techniques that help me be able to show you this pathway and these channels that I'm exercising. Here's another technique that I want to show you. You know how we just create sequences and then we figure out and hope that they flow into the transition part? I'm going to show you a little tactic that I use. It's a 4-bar sequence. Bring the loop to here. And whatever you played here, you're going to either you're going to use them same notes, but then you're going to add into that second beat. And then it'll transition. No matter how you do it, it's going to transition. Watch this. All right, here's the groove. I'm going to go into my next transition. My bad. All right, it started over. So now I'm going to bring the counter. I'm going to bring this over to here, and then I'm going to loop that. And then after I figure out the notes, I'm going to come back here and then look at what you played. Watch this. So now that I looped, I'm going to go to my next sequence. I'm going to transition, right? Watch this. So here they are right here. Look. Here they are on the thing, right? Look. These 4. So I used these right here, right? So now when I do, I'm going to play that same pattern. So I'm going to go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They the ones I'm using. I ain't fucking with these right now. That's in my next sequence. It makes sense? Count too. When you go into your next, when you just going in your sequences, and when you're doing music, just learn to count. Count in your head, but try to remember when you count, you gotta be hitting. So if you're on a 1, 2, 3, 4, so I'm like, my last pattern to go into my next transition, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm gonna figure out which one of these go next. Is it if I go from here to here, they don't sound right. That sound better, so I can go. They don't sound right, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me try that. Here's my next pattern. This is what I'm gonna do. Check it out. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. Follow me? So I'm gonna go ahead and record that now. There you go. See it right there? 4 bars. Here's the pattern that I created to the next transition. Check it out. And always remember, it's every 4 bars it should change. It should change up. If the melody don't change up, change up the drums or take out a snare or put a pause in there. Now watch, I'm gonna go ahead and merge these two together. I gotta put the camera down though. Here's the transition. Watch, it's gonna match up because I played the same thing here as here, but I switched up here into the second bar. Watch how I play. Check this out. Oops. Let me just start it back from here. Quantize that because it's a little off, right? I'm gonna hit quantize. Watch some notes move. Locked in. Now I'm gonna play it from the top, and it's gonna go a total of 8 bars. And watch how I changed up every 2 bars because I'm still playing that kind of same pattern, but I'm going up a note or down a note. And then I go, if you notice, I go from here, I go and then I go all the way up, then I come back down, and then I ride up here, right? And then I come back down to that same melody, and then I ride a different note. I threw in some, I doubled up, and then I did the same thing, but watch, listen to the transition. All right, peep knowledge. Here you go. Watch. Here you go. See a transition? Transition right there. Watch. So now I'm going to take these notes, them same notes, and I'm just going to use this note and go, boom, and then watch how I transition. Here's that part. I went from here, I'm going to a transition right here. Watch how I flow. So always go back and go 2 bars back or 4 bars back and go into the next transition. Watch how I flow. Follow me? So that's it. That's basically it, and just keep adding on. I don't got a total. That's a verse right there, 16 bars. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my change up going into the hook, and that's it. Boom. My last 2 bars to the 16 bars, and watch how I did my last 2 bars to get ready to come into the hook right here. Look, peep knowledge. Go from here, transition there, and then it's gonna start back over into there. But watch how I transition. See, I ain't worrying about the little clicks on that. I ain't getting it. I'm going to clean all that up after I come out of groove mode. Then I'm going to go into I guess you call it a fine tuning mode. I'm a fine tune now. So that's it. And make sure you get in the habit of saving. Save that shit. It's locked. Locked in. Alright? Get down. Get down. My damn dog. Sorry about that, y'all. Now here it is from the top. Get down. Get it? I hope you do. Now it's up to you to figure out what you want to do with your hook. And then that takes time. Just go ahead and loop. Don't loop 8 bars. Loop 4 bars or 2 bars. And start with your hook. And then after I do all that, I'm going to fine tune. And I'm going to go and put my breaks in. Take out some snares. Do some pauses. Do some silences. And I'm done. Boom.